Right, so if you guys remember, a couple of months back, I think like just after Hawkeye was released, I did a video ranking all of the characters in Marvel's Avengers, all the playable ones. There's only 8, so it wasn't that difficult to do. I mean, the thing with Marvel's Avengers is every character is somewhat good. Every character is usable. You're going to find a main, and everyone's list of who their favourite and least favourite is going to be different. So this video is very subjective to my tastes, how I play the game, and what I do to play the game. Also, my list has changed. That's why I'm doing this video again. I wanted to do it just before Black Panther was released, so I do one now, and then in August, maybe like at the end of August, when I've had time to actually play Black Panther and get through his story and do everything with the character and get him fully leveled up and everything. Hopefully by then I'll do this video again, and you'll probably see Black Panther at the top of the list. Not gonna lie, I fully expect him to be the new best character in the game, just because he's gonna be the new shiny character in the game. So everyone's gonna be like, oh, Black Panther, he's the new thing, he's what we all want. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into the list, and I'll start at number 8, and that's Kate Bishop. I don't like playing as Kate. I don't think she can survive that long. She doesn't have a heal on any of her attacks. You can get Jarvis Barrier on her, but that's a game of chance. And this is just going off of the character's base kits, not with all that one exotic that gives them Jarvis Barrier. I don't care about that. That's a game of chance. This is stuff that's on their kit, and on Kate Bishop's kit, when you have the character at level 1, not put anything into her, she has no survivability. She has no, there is nothing on her kit that will give her a heal, defense up, any kind of defensive thing. As for damage, I'm running a very low level Kate Bishop because I can't be bothered to play her, but even at the level that she is now, she's not hitting as hard as someone like Hawkeye would at the same level that my Kate is. She's not hitting as hard as Cap, not hitting as hard as even Miss Marvel Black Widow. She's just not hitting that hard, and for a character that came out after the base 6, you'd think she would have been a step above what was in the game at launch. She's not. She's at the bottom of the barrel, unfortunately. A lot of people like her. If you like her, that's fine. You're probably into playing a rogue-like character in these games that can get in and get out, or just stay at the back and just firing arrows, because arrows do a lot of damage. But that's not me. That's not my play style. So yeah, she just lands at the bottom of the list, unfortunately. So yeah. Next one, I got to go with someone that may be a little bit controversial. Thor. I put Thor at the middle last time, and just the more that I play him, the less I like him. His support buff doesn't last for long enough, and I don't think his assault heroic doesn't have the distance on it, doesn't have the range on it, doesn't have the AoE that I would want on it. His ultimate doesn't do as much damage as you would hope it would do. You're hitting people with the Rainbow Bridge, and it's not a one-hit kill attack. It's not a screen nuke. Why is it not a screen nuke? It's like this concentrated area, this area that's not that big, that can either burn, freeze, or heal. And I'm running the heal, but I barely play Thor anyway because he's not fun. And they did a thing where whenever you're not holding Mjolnir, whenever you throw Mjolnir, it's a different combo, and his combos, you know, is half of the time you're going to be without Mjolnir, because the attack that Mjolnir does when you're not holding him does a lot of damage. That's the highest damaging attack that Thor can do outside of his ultimate heroic. And you're just then basically defenseless because you don't have half of your... because you don't have anything on you that can get through enemy shields. But yeah, Thor is fine as a character. He can fly. Flying characters will always be the best in this game because they can just get around quicker. It's just a shame that his actual like fighting capabilities aren't great. He does a decent amount of damage, but it's just I just wish he was a bit easier to play. He's just not that fun to play. He takes a lot of getting used to, and he's not the kind of character that I want to learn. I don't want to learn Thor. I may want to learn Thor if something comes out that you need Thor for, but at the moment, there's nothing that you need Thor for. He doesn't do necessarily well in the new villain sector, so yeah, he's just floating around at the bottom of the barrel for me. My number 6 pick is another controversial one, because in my last list I put this guy at number 2. I thought it was the second best character in the game. Going back and playing him after playing the other characters again, I don't think Iron Man is that good. I just don't. He has one of those like assault heroics that is just a beam forward. You can put more range on it if you put stuff into it, but I mean it's still, instead of 1 beam forward, it's 3 beams forward, or it's like a triangular trajectory. It's not like an encircling AoE. He does have good AoE on his base combos, but the damage of those isn't great, and he doesn't have the survivability. The Hulkbuster is great. It's just not that fun to use because it's only really 2 attacks that do anything, and it doesn't last for long enough for you to be able to use it that effectively. He does do well in the new villain sector because he's a ranged character and because of flight. So, and he can do decent damage with like his rockets. So he can do well in that kind of content when it's like single target, but you throw him into like the gauntlet, the heroic gauntlet. He's gonna get ripped to shreds because he just cannot survive. He doesn't have the survivability. Next character, my number 5 pick. My number 5 pick is Black Widow. I was so wrong. I put her at the bottom of the list last time, and I regret it. Black Widow is so fun. I've been having a lot of fun playing her on stream recently, and especially going through the Red Room stuff. She slaps. She kicks ass in the Red Room, and yeah, she doesn't really work for villain sectors. I don't know how good she is for the newest villain sector. I haven't tried her for it, but I don't think she'll do well because her range doesn't really have the damage. Maybe if you use the shotgun, it will, but it doesn't. She doesn't really pack as much of a punch, but she does so many hits. And she's got shock as well, which on like her base attacks, that you know you can make up for the lack of damage with the amount of damage you will be able to do over time, and the amount of damage per second. The actual numbers may not be that high, but the amount of hits that you'll be getting out, man, it doesn't matter how low the numbers are. But yeah, she's just really fun to play. It's just a really fun character. I didn't expect her to be, and I certainly didn't like her initially when the game came out, because I was like, oh, Black Widow, she'll be fine, but I don't think I want to play her. But the more I've been playing her, the more I've been enjoying playing as her, and especially with the movie coming out, it put me in a kick to play as Black Widow again. And obviously Red Room is in the game again, so that's been cycled back in. I want to play more Black Widow, so it's been really fun playing as Black Widow. My number 4 pick is Miss Marvel. Once again, I was wrong. I put her at second to last time. She's a really good healer. She's really good heals. She's really fun. You know, I love just using the polymorph and doing the big spin. I love doing the spin when embiggened as well. That's a lot of fun. She's just a really fun character. She does suffer from having the assault heroic that's just a launch forward, but her actual combos and her base attacks do so much damage, and her embiggen is so good that it kind of negates her assault heroic. You won't be doing it that often anyway. And most of the time, because there is an upgrade where you can like boost the AoE of it, you know, you will be hitting enough enemies anyway, so it doesn't really matter. She's just a really fun character, and obviously she would be, because she's kind of the focus of the story, and she's the character you'll play as in the story the most, so obviously they're going to make her fun. Obviously they're going to make her the best character in the game. They're going to make her one of the better characters in the game, and unfortunately I didn't see that initially, but now going through testing, playing her a lot more, she's really fun. She's really fun. Not top 3 fun, but she's really fun. My number 3 pick is Hulk. Hulk is great. Hulk is great. He's really good at keeping himself alive. He's really good at doing damage. Even if you run a tank build with him, his damage will be through the roof. So if you do a damage build, he'll still be able to survive, because he's built to be a tank character. He's built with a self-heal. He's built with so many buffs up the wazoo. You know, he does so good. You know, he will... If you build him correctly, you'll never die. You will never die. He'll be healing, like, all of the time. So, yeah, Hulk is just a powerhouse. He's a tank that can do a lot of damage. The only thing he doesn't have is any, like, range. He can't deal with any, like, flying enemies. But besides that, and besides him falling short on, like, the new villain sector because of his lack of range, he's a really fun character. He's a really, really fun character. So why is he not in the top 2? Because there's two characters that are better, obviously. And the 2 characters that are better, number 3, or number 2 even, Captain America. Yeah, the British guy is putting Captain America near the top of his list for best characters. What can I say? I like Captain America, so I'm like, I want to play as Captain America more. So I play as Captain America more, and by the end, I've got him maxed out, because I just haven't been able to stop playing him. He's so fun. He's so clean. He's got the simplest like moveset, but he's also just an amazing character. He's just so well built. Like, he can survive. He's tanky. He can deal a lot of damage. He's got decent AoE as well. His ult is the best in the game at the moment. So yeah, I really like Captain America. He's just so fun to play as. The only thing he doesn't have is, again, the range is kind of so-so. If you build into his range, really, if you like focus straight on his range, he will do wonders. But if you don't, and if you focus on his melee, then he's not going to do well for the new villain sector. He's just not. Because it doesn't matter how tanky you are, you ain't tanking a one-hit kill move. You ain't. So yeah. And And speaking of the best in the game, I mentioned that ages ago, but who cares? Continuity, what? We're talking about a Marvel game. Who cares about continuity? My number one pick is still Hawkeye. Hawkeye's still the best character in the game as of right now. Again, that may very well change. That is probably likely to change in a few months, or in a month. But yeah, Hawkeye is still really good, and I don't like it because I want to play as these other characters. But Hawkeye, goddammit, the new shiny has stayed the best shiny in the game. He's really fun. He's really fun to play as. He has really clean animations. His assault heroic is the best in the game. His heroic has been retooled, so it's actually doing enough damage now, and you can actually use it, and you can literally just stand in place and watch the arrows just fly across the screen, and you don't have to do anything. You can just stand there and all the enemies just die around you. There's so much good with this character that I'm excited of how good Black Panther's going to be, and how good the really visually interesting characters are going to be if the archer, the guy with the bow and arrow, is this good, is this clean, is this crisp, is this fun to play as. I'm really excited to see how they do characters that are, more powerful. I'm really excited to see how they do Doctor Strange, how they do, and how they manage to make it so that the street level characters that they bring out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take a swig. It's so fucking hot in here. Oh man. It's so fucking hot in the UK right now. We're going through a heat wave that's gonna last till Thursday. Madness. But yeah, Hawkeye, it really excites me to see how they're going to deal with street level characters, as well as the big superpowered ones as well. Like, if they can make Hawkeye this good and this cool and this interesting, like as a character standpoint, as a playable character standpoint, and the story fucking sucks, but in the as a playable character, he's amazing. There is nothing wrong with him. Range, amazing. The only thing that's wrong with him is probably traversal, but even then, traversal is not even the main part of the game, and not worth getting upset about. But yeah, I freaking love playing as Hawkeye, man. He's the best character for the new villain sector. He'll probably be the best character for the new raid coming out, because he's the most recent character. Or they might build the raid around someone else. They'll probably build the raid around Kate, because the raid is the last mission of Kate's story. So that's probably who they're going to build the raid around. So I better start building up my Kate, which I don't want to do, because none of the content in the game outside of what was in her operation is actually built for her as a character. She struggles so much with everything. Well, I mean, how I've built her, she struggles with everything. So hopefully the new raid is built around current Hawkeye, or it's built around one of the characters I have at 130. If not, then I don't know. I'll struggle. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what Black Panther brings to this game, because right now, playable characters, the gameplay is what is keeping me attached to Marvel's Avengers. We've had last month, which introduced a new villain sector, kind of brought the story, taking the story a bit forward. Not by much though, so, you know, I, at the moment, don't care much about the story in Marvel's Avengers. I care about the gameplay, the playable characters, and seeing how these characters fit in this world. I'm interested to see what this game's version of Black Panther is. I'm excited to see how they deal with the Dora Milaje, what that's going to be. Is it going to be a summon? Is it going to be Black Panther's ultimate? What is Black Panther going to look like as a playable character? That's what I want to know. I want that deep dive to come out. I want this DLC pack. I want this expansion to come out. I want it to be great. We already have confirmation that it's going to be like nearly 10 hours long. So I'm glad about that. I'm glad that it's going to be a long piece of content that's going to take time. I'm really excited. I have never been more excited about this game since until now, or since launch. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know which character you think is the best in the game. Let me know which character you think is the worst in the game. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.